Bateau says he met a woman working 4 jobs and raising a special needs child. I don't believe him. Sorry. This is her. Her name is Gina. Her daughter's name is Summer. The problem with our economy is she has to live in her car while a disgraced TV host like you makes millions. Y'all noticed STD rates started going bonkers the minute we cancelled slut shaming? Or is it just me? It's just you. The rise of STD infection rates is directly attributed to removing sexual education from schools and teaching abstinence only, cutting funding to orgs like Planned Parenthood, and restricting access and limiting insurance coverage for reproductive health services. Equals. Your generation are mostly spoiled brats that cry if they don't get their way. As if your generation didn't spit on soldiers and implode if a black person used the same water fountain. Wake up, Wanda. Can I just say, whoever the fuck made us dumb ass Americans remember 5,280 feet and not just 1,000 meters is a cunt. You realize the imperial system existed before the metric, right? And our isolationism spared us from the Europeans constantly changing the way things are done now? You realize living in a cave and smashing rocks existed before living in a house with electricity? I still prefer living in a house. It looks awful. That's because it's on you, dear. The most beautiful first lady in American history. We just haven't seen the rest of them nude. Not really a fair comparison. I'm skinny and this girl told me she knew girls that had more muscles than me. I told her I knew guys that had bigger tits than hers. 8-year-olds nowadays have iPhone 7 or X. But when I was 8 years old I had this. Bet y'all don't know this. Whoever had a PSP when they were 8, they were just as spoiled as these 8-year-olds who have an iPhone. My team and this league just went through a difficult week. I think people need to understand what a tweet or statement can do to others. And believe nobody stopped and considered what would happen. Could have waited a week to send it. You know who had an even more difficult week? Hong Kong protesters who want the privilege of electing their leaders. Remember universal voting rights? It's that thing MLK marched from Selma to Montgomery for. They want that. But silly them, I guess. Hey Reddit, what is something that can't be made sexual? OP. Your tweets are worse than your books. How much worse? 'Cause the last 2 books were New York Times bestsellers. And one got a high 5 from Barack Obama and the other one got turned into a TV show, so I mean there's a lot of room there. LOL, go Astros. You are in hell, but if you beat the devil in a game of your choice he will let you out. What game would you pick? Hockey, because right now everyone is beating the devils at hockey. Why couldn't eggs win at humor? Because they couldn't crack up a good joke. Are you an egg too? Would be unconstitutional in Germany. Article 1. Rules that human dignity is inviolable. Well, that's a first world country. That's a real country, not just 3 corporations in a trench coat. New York bans unvaccinated children from going to school and their anti-vax parents are furious. Mom, you chose to be an idiot. Black people weren't given a choice. Crazy Russian hacker, the type of guy to say boom every time his poop comes out. Size M for manly. Just like you hope to be someday. The writing seemed to be on the wall. For Universal Pictures Home Entertainment's Doom, Annihilation after current Doom game developer Bethesda put out a statement distancing themselves from the project. Released. Straight to home video, this second crack at a cinematic Doom incorporates a few more elements of the game lore, but at the cost of having to exist in the first place. Boring action, uninteresting characters, and a permeating sense of cheapness make Doom Annihilation a chore to watch. Or you could not buy this because Blizzard needs to rethink their morals. And I'm sure you don't use Amazon because they don't pay taxes, Google because they spy on everyone, McDonald's because of their treatment of animals, any of the plethora of clothing companies that use sweatshops, or is just Blizzard that's bad because they are in the news this week. Grow up, man. I was simply asking about lag. I had a roommate like that in college. He saw everything that everybody else owned as communal. For example, I bought a giant bag of rice for $50. And I thought to myself, this is the last bag of rice you will have to buy for the rest of the year. It was expensive, but it will save you money in the long run. I soon discovered that not only was he helping himself to it every single day, but he was actually offering free rice to other sleazebag people he knew. When I confronted him about it, he angrily said, "Dude, look how much of it you have. Don't be so greedy." No, you stupid motherforker. I was not born with that rice. It was not a graduation gift from my parents. I worked a shitty job to be able to afford that rice. I bought it in bulk because I am trying to save money. You sit around all day, and then complain that it's not fair. I have rice and you have none. You spend your money on bars every night. I spend mine on food that you have no claim to. Do you deserve for me to just hand you $20? No. Then why do you think you deserve to eat free rice from me for the rest of the year? You have 3 guitars and I have none. So I can just take one of yours, right? Don't be so greedy, look how many you have.